Thank you, Mayor Becker. That was really enjoyable. We really appreciate the passion that you obviously have for your city. Okay, guys, are you ready for some lightning with your thunder today? I know, that was weak. I know. Okay, let's get going now. You're going to get, you're going to get a drink with a fire hose right now. So we're going to welcome the chair of the Citizens Advisory Committee of the MAPS 3 project, Dr. Tom McDaniel.
Well, thank you, Judy. Great to be with you guys. MAPS 3 promises to be what we all think is another giant step forward in our development as a big league city. Like its predecessors, MAPS 1 and MAPS for Kids, it is a pay-as-you-go program funded by a sales tax, a 1-cent sales tax that we're all excited to announce is running above projections. There are 8 projects included for $777 million. The sales tax, Mayor Becker, is projected to be $8 million a month, and we're running ahead of projections. So we're very happy about that. The sales tax, in addition, has been enhanced by some new businesses here, the outlet mall and that sort of thing. The mayor and the city council developed a process for citizen oversight. It includes an 11-member Citizens Advisory Board with 8 subcommittees, 1 for each project that will be included. And that means that we have about 80 citizens that are volunteering. Here are the projects that we intend to build: a new 70-acre downtown park, a new infrastructure of trails and sidewalks. We have a transit modern streetcar, about 6 miles of that will include an intermodal hold, a new downtown convention center, 4 senior health and wellness centers, and the other projects that you see there. We allocated about $130 million for the new downtown park. It will be bisected by the new I-40 location, and about 2/3 in the upper park, and we're in the process of acquiring the upper park property now, and it's going quite well, I might add. It's shown in green on this. The red part at the bottom is the lower park, bordered on the north by the new boulevard, bordered on the south by the river, connected by the iconic Skydance Bridge that we're all so proud to already have in existence going over the new I-40. This map shows in dark blue the acquisition progress that we're making, and as you can see, we're more than 3/4 there on having the property already acquired for the upper park area. Our goal is to have it ready when the new boulevard is opened in 2014, to have the upper part of the park ready to go as well. Transit modern streetcar, the initial cost estimate was $130 million. The subcommittee has decided on a proposed route that has been submitted to the council. The Santa Fe Railroad Station has been recommended as the intermodal hub, and the proposed route is currently under discussion. This shows it, perhaps you can see the yellow outline. It generally goes up Broadway to 13th, down Robinson, back to the convention center, the park, and the basketball arena, with a spur that goes into Bricktown. Next is the convention center. It has an estimated initial cost of $250 million. It's to be located, the location has been decided on and approved by the council immediately west of the basketball arena, and we're in the process now of acquiring that property. Should be something spectacular in that area. The Oklahoma River, the initial cost estimate was $60 million for several projects, one of which was a new racecourse starting system, lighting improvements, a new windscreen, and interestingly enough, a brand new whitewater facility that we're thinking now will be located in the Boathouse District. The State Fairgrounds, we're all excited about having a new exhibition hall there and improvement of the parking. The initial cost estimate for that was $60 million, and that's part of the State Fair master plan. So well on our way to getting that completed as well. We plan to have 4 new health and wellness centers geographically dispersed around the city. The initial cost estimate for this project was $50 million. We're in the process now of locating operating partners, community partners that would help operate these centers. MAPS 3 does not include operational funds for those. The trails, we are very proud of that we're going to help complete the Oklahoma City master plan for the trails. The allocated cost is $40 million, and it will be part of completing the existing trail system that we already have in the city, which will be shown on this slide. In red, you can see those plans that will have the MAPS 3 money used, but generally speaking, it will connect and be part of the master plan for the trail system that's already been developed by the city. So we're very excited about that. Sidewalks, we're developing a master plan for that, prioritizing and trying to strategically plan where we'll spend the estimated cost of $10 million for new sidewalks in our city. And right now thinking a lot in the neighborhoods around our city, and very, very interesting project for us. This is the implementation plan. I know it's a little bit of a busy slide. I'll mention just a couple of things about it. A, it's been approved by the mayor and city council. B, if you look at 2012, every project has action being taken on it now. So every project is underway, and perhaps the final point to be made is that the last part of it shows 2021 when we will complete it. What's next for us? Continue the process that has been working so well. Follow the implementation plan, enhance and protect the MAPS brand that has been so effective for our city, and deliver to the citizens of our city exactly what they voted for us to do. Thank you.
Wow, was that great? What a way to spend $777 million. I'd like to take him shopping with me. Thank you, Tom. Our next person is someone that you all know and certainly has a passion for education. So we're delighted to have a former mayor who has just been named to the University of Oklahoma Board of Regents, so you can tell his passion for education is very important to him. Let's welcome the chairman of the new downtown charter school, Kirk Humphreys.
Thank you, Judy. In 1998, Assistant City Manager Jovan Bullard made a statement that would change our city. Regarding our efforts to revitalize older neighborhoods, he said, "Mayor, you can put in new gateways, you can add parks and sidewalks, you can pave the streets with gold, but until you fix those schools, no one's going to buy a home in there." Jovan's statement helped me see that City Hall needed to intervene and fix our schools. There are times in life when a statement is made and it sets us on a new course that ultimately changes our destination. On March 16, 2011, the Thunder made just such a statement when they beat the Miami Heat on Miami's home court. The rest of the NBA stood up and took notice. Beating the Heat on their court was a statement that the Thunder no longer was just a small market team with a good story. They were a contender now. Because of Jovan's statement, things started to change at City Hall. We worked for the next 3 years on what would become known as Maps for Kids. In November 2001, the voters made a statement about what's important in Oklahoma City when they said that we wanted quality schools for every child. They overwhelmingly approved Maps for Kids. They said we value our children, we value education, and we're going to pay for quality education for every child. Well, now it's 10 years later. Construction will soon be completed on all but one of the 73 schools. These new buildings are giving rise to a new sense of pride in the school district and the hope that these schools can once again compete with the best schools in the metro. But the job's only half done. The hard part is changing what takes place in the classroom. When Maps for Kids was approved, test scores in Oklahoma City averaged about 61% of those in the major suburban districts. Progress has been made over the last 10 years. Carl Springer is completing his 4th year as superintendent. He's brought stability and leadership to an office that previously had been a revolving door. Test scores have gotten better. Today they're at 74% of the metro average. That's better, but not good enough. Every parent wants a quality education for their child. They want to see a path for their student all the way through school, from elementary school, middle school, high school, and ultimately to graduation. And while we have some outstanding schools in the city district, we don't have that K through 12 path anywhere in the district. We have one chance left, and that's the new downtown elementary school. This new school, in a part of the city where almost no one lived when Maps for Kids was approved, we're doing that to make a statement. We put it in Maps for Kids so that when visitors come to our city, they'll be amazed to see a quality school downtown with kids in the school, and it'll make the statement that education and children matter to people in Oklahoma City. Now, that's the why we're building the new downtown school. How about the who, what, where, when, and how? The school will be named in honor of John Rex. I'm a little bit behind my slide. John Rex was a longtime education advocate in our city. It'll open in the fall of 2014 as a pre-K through 5 elementary school. We plan to add 1 grade level a year until we go clear through grade 12. It'll be unlike any other school in the metro area. It'll be an urban school located a block west of Myriad Gardens, block west of the Devon Tower, close to downtown amenities like the Myriad Gardens, Civic Center Music Hall, the Museum of Art, the downtown library. The building's being designed right now. Maps for Kids funding will pay for the school, but we will add private donations of several $millions so that it can be a top-rate school that can give children a well-rounded education. It'll be a charter school. As a charter school, it'll be a public school where any child can attend free of charge. Just like any neighborhood school, we'll have attendance boundaries. Those have not been set yet, but generally, there'll probably be about 10th Street on the north, the Oklahoma River on the south, probably Lottie just east of the Health Science Center on the east, and Western Avenue on the west. Students living within that area will be guaranteed enrollment in the school. Other children will be accepted as space allows, with a higher priority given to children who have parents working in the downtown area. Once a child is enrolled in the school, they and their siblings will be given a priority for enrollment in future years. The school has a unique governance structure. In 2010, I asked Larry Nichols of Devon Energy and Bob Ross with the Inasmuch Foundation to join me in forming OKC Quality Schools, Inc. That's a nonprofit that exists to promote quality education in Oklahoma City. We recruited 24 outstanding leaders to join us. We negotiated with the school district, and they approved a partnership with our nonprofit to govern this charter school. In a truly historic move, the school district will apply for the charter from the University of Oklahoma. We think this is the first time in American history that any public school board has applied for a charter. The district will assign all the benefits and obligations under that charter contract to the John Rex Board, and that board will set the policies, hire the principal, and be accountable for the results. The upshot of that is it's shared success. When we succeed, it'll be the school board's success with us. Folks, we're not trying to build an elementary school. We're trying to build a learning city. We intend to do that one school at a time. We ask you to join us. Thank you.
That's going to be exciting. We're really looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Kirk. Our next lightning round presentation will update us on projects the Alliance for Economic Development is working on. Please welcome the President and CEO of the Alliance of Economic Development, Kathy O'Connor.
Well, good morning. We're going to take a few minutes to update you on some of the projects that the Alliance for Economic Development has been working on. You're going to hear about most of them in other presentations, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about how the Alliance links different public sector agencies together to create incentive programs and help make these projects happen. The agencies that are involved in the Alliance for Economic Development include the Oklahoma City Urban Renewal Authority, the Economic Development Trust, the Oklahoma Industries Authority, the Oklahoma City Industrial and Cultural Facilities Trust, and the Oklahoma City Redevelopment Authority. As we go through the projects, you'll understand a little bit about how these different agencies have different incentive programs that we use for projects. Where we're going to start is with the Devon Tower and TIF number 8. We created a TIF district when Devon announced its new world headquarters, and I'm not sure we really appreciate what a unique opportunity this project has given us, a unique opportunity to understand what it's like to have all of our streets torn up at one time, a unique opportunity to learn how to walk through construction zones, but really what it did was create the funding source for a $160 million renovation of all our downtown streets, public spaces, and parks like the Myriad Gardens. And I think when it's all finished, we're going to really appreciate what a great project it is. The downtown housing study is something else that we've been working on, also related to tax increment financing, and will help us develop new policies on how we implement TIF funding for projects. The downtown housing study found that there is demand for more housing. It's mostly with young people between 18 and 34. So some of the projects that we have underway right now, we have about 1,000 units of residential construction underway or about to be underway in downtown. Those include The Level, which is about a 228-unit apartment complex, which is leasing right now. Carnegie Center, which is Judy's project, that'll use TIF and historic tax credits to make that project happen. It's about 18 units of residential, and it includes commercial and retail space. The next project is some projects in Midtown. All of these projects were grouped together to provide TIF funding. They include Haddon Hall, which again is about 18 units of residential and some retail. The Klein and the 1212 Walker project. Those all have about $1 million of tax increment financing in them and involve the Economic Development Trust and the city to make those projects happen. Here's an image of 1212, which was a 1950s parking garage that's being converted to about 27 units of residential. The Klein is another one of the projects. It was originally a hotel built in 1910. It's 3 stories and will have about 12 units in it. Another one of our TIF projects was Film Row, and I'm not sure people realize that Film Row was a tax increment financing project, but we supplemented some general obligation bond funds from the city with tax increment financing to make the streetscape improvements in Film Row happen, and that, I think, has really helped set the stage for a lot of renovations and some great building renovations in the Film Row area. Some of the projects that we work on involve, mostly urban renewal projects, and an example of that is the Edge at Bricktown. The Edge at Bricktown will be built on the Old Mercy Hospital site. It's a 250-unit apartment complex with retail on the first floor along Walker. It will involve tax increment financing as well, but it is on an urban renewal site. The Aloft Hotel is another example of an urban renewal project. It's being built on land that was originally purchased by urban renewal and included in a redevelopment agreement. The downtown elementary school that you just heard about is another urban renewal project. It's going to be located at Sheridan and Walker, and the Urban Renewal Authority and the City of Oklahoma City are working together to, again, provide the site for the downtown school and to provide some tax increment financing that will supplement the Maps for Kids funding and the private funds that will go into that project. One of the other areas that the Alliance is involved in is job creation and creating sites for future employment. We've been involved in the Employment Land Study, which is a planning study that will be part of the update of the city's comprehensive plan, and it helps us to identify sites for future industrial development and develop strategies to protect those. Again, on economic development and job creation, Oklahoma City is really fortunate that we have a local economic development incentive fund. And we work closely with the Chamber to provide incentives to companies that meet the qualifications of the program. And Continental and Boeing were 2 examples of that. Another project that we have been involved in is the development of the outlet shops. And this is a retail incentive project where we provided sales tax rebates to help build the infrastructure necessary for the outlet shops, and we provide them with a rebate for regional marketing. And MAPS 3, we're involved in developing plans for how to best implement private investment related to the MAPS projects. Obviously, from hearing from the mayor of Salt Lake, we understand that a great deal of private investment is possible from the MAPS projects, and we're trying to develop the strategies to best implement that. I think something else that's dear to everybody's heart in downtown Oklahoma City right now is parking. And the city has completed a downtown parking study, and now the Alliance is working with the Central Oklahoma Transit and Parking Authority to develop sites and to put together ideas on how to build more parking for downtown very quickly. And finally, something that people don't realize that we may be involved in is the Oklahoma Industries Authority, which has had a long-term involvement with Tinker Air Force Base and developments around Tinker. We're involved with the Boeing MROTC, which is a facility that's been leased and is used to create jobs in Oklahoma City. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. You know, the Alliance sometimes is something that we really didn't understand how it works, so we really appreciate that so much.